بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: من مات وهو بريء من الكبر والغلول والدين دخل الجنة، أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Respected listeners, amongst the greatest saints of all time, one of them was Luqmaan alayhi salam. Luqmaan alayhi salam is synonymous with wisdom, and when we think of wisdom, we think of Luqmaan alayhi salam. Luqmaan alayhi salam wisdom was of such a nature that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had dedicated a whole chapter of the Quran Kareem to Luqmaan alayhi salam. Once Luqmaan alayhi salam was asked by someone, Man ta'allam min al-adab, that where did you learn this wisdom, where did you acquire this knowledge from? So he replied, I acquired it from all those who lacked it. So how did you acquire this from all those who lacked it? Luqmaan alayhi salam replied that whenever I saw someone doing something silly, something naive, something foolish, unpleasant to society, then I said to myself, I need to stay away from all these actions, and in this way I avoided the mistakes of others and I became Luqmaan the wise. So Luqmaan alayhi salam, amongst his advices that he gave his son, numerous advices that are given in the Quran Kareem, amongst his advices he gives to his son, one of these advices are, Ya bunayya iyaka wad-dayn, fa innahu hammun bil-layl wa dhullum bin-nahar. That, O my beloved son, stay away from debts. Fa innahu hammun bil-layl. It will leave you insomniac by night. It will keep you awake at night. Wa dhullum bin-nahar. And it will be disgrace for you by day. How beautifully Luqmaan alayhi salam is addressing his son in a most loving and a most caring way. This is a lesson for us, respected listeners, on how to treat our children, how to advise them, and how to correct their mistakes. So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam in a hadith mentions, Man mata wa huwa bari'un min al-kibri wal-ghululi wad-dayn dakhala al-jannah. That individual who passes away and he is free from three things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will admit him into Jannah. The first is, wa huwa bari'un min al-kibr, that individual who is free from pride. And we know, respected listeners, pride is such a heinous crime in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the same act of pride that stopped shaitan and the devil from bowing in prostration to Adam alayhi salam, which was commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the same act of pride that stopped the Pharaoh, Fir'aun, from accepting the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and what a destructful end the Pharaoh had met in the end. So, respected brothers and elders, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from amongst those individuals who are always humble and we stay away from pride. The second point Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentions in this hadith, that individual who stays away and is free from pride, the second is, he is free from being deceitful in a trust. He fulfills all the responsibilities, all the amanas, the trust that have been given to him. That is part and parcel of the teachings of Islam, that whatever responsibilities we have been given, then we fulfill those trusts, whether it is in a person's public life or a private life. In the public life, a person has been made a trustee and appointed to a position in an organization or some company or whatever it may be, but a person then fulfills the responsibility and the trust that has been given to him. And whatever responsibilities he has been tasked with doing, a person fulfills those responsibilities and a person takes it upon himself to discharge whatever tasks have been given to him. This is part and parcel of fulfilling the responsibilities that have been given to a person. For example, in a person's private life, a person has been made an executor of some family member's will. So a person discharges that responsibility in the correct way. A person gives the heirs the rightful dues, and in this way a person will be fulfilling the amana that have been given to him. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentions that individual who is free from pride, who is free from being deceitful in a trust, that individual who fulfills all trusts and amanas that have been given to him, then that person will enter Jannah. And the last point Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentions, that that individual who is free from debts, then a person will be entered into Jannah by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to often make this dua, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-kufri wa dayn, that, oh Allah, you protect me from kufr, from disbelief, and from debts. Save me from debts. So one of the Sahaba radiallahu anhu asked, O Nabi of Allah, that are you associating kufr and disbelief with debts? So yes, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam replied, yes, I am associating kufr with debts to show the severity of debts in the life of a Muslim. As a believer, respected listeners, we need to work our life towards being debt-free. We may have accumulated debts in our life. We need to try and start loving our life to be debt-free. And in this way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant us goodness and barakah in our life. In the hadith of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, it is mentioned that once a janazah was brought in front of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and the Nabi of Allah asked that, Hal taraka min daynin, that does this person have any debts upon him? So the answer was given that this person does not have any debts. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam then went forward and performed the janazah salah of this individual. Another time, another janazah was brought in front of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked the question, Hal taraka min daynin, does this person have any debts? So the answer was given, yes, there has been some debts left behind by this person. So that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked the question, Hal taraka min wafa'in, that does this person, does he have any assets left behind to fulfill those debts? So the answer was given in the affirmative that yes, he has left some assets and some money behind to fulfill those debts. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam then went forward and performed the janazah salah of that individual. And on one rare occasion, a janazah was brought in front of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, before going forward, asked, does this individual have some debts? And the answer was given, yes, this individual has debts. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam then asked, does this individual have any assets or some money left behind to fulfill those debts? And the answer was given, this person has not left behind any money to fulfill those debts. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam replied to the Sahaba, Sallu ala sahibikum, then mentioned to the Sahaba that you perform the janazah salah of your companion, I will not perform the janazah salah. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam set a precedent that how important death is and how a person should stay away from debt, that it is so important that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam did not want to perform the janazah salah of that individual who had debts upon him. And from the rear, Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu then came forward and told the Nabi of Allah that do not deprive this individual of your dua and your janazah salah. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was told by Ali radiallahu anhu that I will take on the responsibility of fulfilling the debts of this person. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam then went forward and performed the janazah salah of this individual. So we can see, respected listeners, how important it is. We need to live a life in such a way that we become debt-free. And we are not talking about those debts where a person is in need, a person was in an emergency, a person had to take a debt. We are talking about those debts a person incurs upon oneself to live a lavish, a luxurious lifestyle, to show and spend about in society, and to show that a person is living a high-class, upmarket lifestyle. And in this way, if a person incurs debts for these reasons, to show, for show, and for living a luxurious lifestyle, then this is against the teachings of Islam and the teachings of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. A person should live his life within the means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him, and in this way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put barakah and blessings. There will be goodness in this world and inshallah goodness in the year after. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from amongst those individuals who are humble, who fulfill all our amanas and trust that have been given upon us. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us free from debts, and if we do have any debts, make it easy for us to fulfill our debts. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.